Alright guys, so for this week's tutorial Tuesday, I'm going to do aerial to Chaplins. There are three main variations that I believe you can branch every other aerial to Chaplin off of, and that is standard, reverse, and aerial to zero gravity. The first aerial is the standard to aerial to Chaplin, and how that'll look is like this. Alright, so let's get into it. There's a few things that are pretty universal across these tricks, and the first being the throw. When you go to throw an aerial to Chaplin, it's the only real aerial where you're not going to want to give it a lot of rotation and speed and power. It's more of like you're pulling it up, okay? So you're going to do whatever you want to do to get to the bite handle. And for the standard one, it's going to be going across your body like this. The knife facing you like that. And you are going to basically do a really slow rotation. How you do that is, instead of pulling it and giving it a lot of spin, you're basically just going to lift the knife. Oh shoot. You're gonna lift the knife and barely spin it. Most of it's gonna be up. Okay, so up. Lift the knife up. Now to catch it into a Chaplin, it's basically gonna land on your finger. And as it's doing that, you are going to start the Chaplin. You can start by learning how to catch like this. So you throw the aerial, and you just catch it between the two fingers. What you're going to want to eventually do is be able to have it just land on your finger, and it'll kind of spin around it on its own. See what I mean? Like, if I do nothing, it starts the Chaplin by itself, because I gave it that slow rotation. And what's happening is, as I throw it, I'm gonna put my finger in right about here, okay? And the weight from the blade and the handle are going to cause it to start spinning around my finger as it lands. And when it does that, I need to be already doing the Chaplin if I want to continue it. You can't really wait. You need to just get into it. So that's really all I have for this trick, guys. You throw from the bite handle, give it a slow rotation, and scoop into it with your finger. This one isn't that hard. Pretty much anyone can learn this, even a beginner. The next one is going to be aerial to reverse Chaplin. And how you do that is you get to a bite handle with the knife facing away from you instead of like this. Now when you get there, you're going to be thinking about how you just raised the knife like this. When you go to throw the knife back, you're going to do the same thing. You're not going to do this, okay? You're not going to give it a good spin. What you're going to do, what I do, is I pinch between my thumb and my index, and I kind of just lift the knife up. But it needs to have a little bit of rotation, but just barely, okay? Basically what you're doing is this. All right, and then as it lands on your finger, you're going to want to pull up and back. As you master this, you can do it to other fingers. But basically, all there is to it is throw that aerial really slow. Like, it's hard to describe. Just watch the slow-mo. Don't give it, like, don't push that handle down at all. You're just going to lift your hand and give it a slight backwards rotation. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but that's really the hardest part. You can start by catching it like this and going backwards, so it even looks good, to be honest with you. Nobody can really tell the difference. But eventually what you're gonna wanna do is let the knife land on your finger and then pull up and back and immediately down. With these tricks, you really can't hesitate or it's not gonna work. Finally is the aerial to zero gravity Chaplin. That was a bad one, but you get the idea. Here it is again. Now with this one, again, I mean, if you're good at them and you already know how to master it, you can do it quickly like I just did. Like, you don't have to lose a lot of rotation. But what's going to be easiest is to get the bite handle. You're going to basically raise it up and don't give it a lot of spin. More of it's going to be on lifting the knife up than spinning it. So when you throw the knife, you're gonna slow it down a little bit. Don't even continue the momentum. You're gonna slow it down, dip down, lose momentum, raise your hand up, and it's gonna spin like this. All right. When it opens to about here, take your finger out here, maybe just a little bit, and come in diagonally like this. And you're gonna push into like the handle. And when you do that, this blade is going to start to spin around your finger. When it does that, you need to already be moving that way. So you push into it, and then since you pushed into it, the blade and the handle are now like this, which means you need to start pushing that way to get the Chaplin going. When you go to catch it, do make a hook. So you're literally going to want to hook like this. In fact, you can even catch it like this to practice that beginning. When you make the hook, it's just going to allow you a little bit of freedom to not be perfect. Now, there are other, like, not everyone does them different or the same. Not everybody does these the same. And, you know, you can learn it however you want, but one of the ways, like, one of the differences is when you enter the Chaplin. I recommend throwing it slowly and coming in like this. You could wait a little bit longer and come backwards. See how I came back like this? You know, it's really what feels most comfortable to you. But the biggest thing is just not hesitating at all. Okay, guys? You need to start that Chaplin motion before your finger makes contact. So as it's about to reach it, you are starting the circle. I think that's it. I guess I could teach you a fakie. So one other thing you can do is throw the helix aerial from the safe handle and catch it like this. So throw it. As it comes around, you're gonna catch it between your index and middle finger right here. So again, throw, spin, catch right here, and then you're gonna wrist pass and start a zero gravity Chaplin. And that will look like so. If you're struggling a lot and you want to be able to do an aerial to zero gravity Chaplin, that one's kind of a cheat and it looks pretty good. So that's all, guys. Throw your aerials up and slow, no matter which one it is. You basically want the pivot to be like landing on your finger, and then you're continuing that momentum. So that's all for this week. Good luck.